Okay, I'll call the meeting to order. We have the agenda in front of you. We need a motion to approve the agenda.
I make a motion, we approve. I second.
Okay, second. There was no discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, you had the minutes sent to you from the last meeting. I don't know if you had time to look over those. If you have, we can entertain a motion for approval on the minutes as well.
I move we approve the minutes of June 1st, 2023.
Okay, we've got a motion. Do we have a
Second.
second? Any discussion, corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the election of the chair and the vice chair.
I make a motion that they stay the same.
All in favor?
We have a motion on the floor for them to stay the same. We have a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Okay. Ms. Christie, if you'll share with us program updates and any discussion we need to have on those.
Yes, ma'am. Just give me just a second to finish typing that.
Yeah.
So the tie-dye concerts have been going well. There's been positive feedback. There is every year, but there's been positive feedback again on the band concert lineup compared to other municipalities in the area. Brunswick Search and Rescue came and conducted their day camp, or as part of our day camp program, the Hug a Tree for kids that are lost again, should they become lost. And John McIntyre, that you guys know from, that was on our board, brought his dog Otis and actually did a demonstration over in the park. They let the dog follow the scent and actually showed the children how you would find someone. And so it was a really good program and well received. We had a good time that day. One of the items mentioned in the 2021 Parks and Rec Master Plan was to move towards a parks maintenance person. Wanted to let you guys know that that position was included in this year's budget. The position will involve beach mat placement and maintenance, park maintenance, trash cleanup, and cleaning of public restrooms, among other duties. It's currently being advertised on our website, and if you know of anybody that may be interested, they should complete an application, follow the instructions on the website. We also completed the work at Halstead Park with the handicap accessibility improvements there.
Christy, can I ask you a question about the park maintenance? Will that include cleaning the, they're not porta johns anymore, they're the bathrooms you put in, the, I guess, what are they called, portalettes down there at the pier? Is that gonna call?
We're still, I don't want to answer about the pier trailer. It will
Okay.
definitely include Bridgeview Park and these park restrooms
Okay.
here. So far, that service at the pier has been contracted out because it's twice daily. And
Okay.
I'm just not sure where we're going to go for that after the summer season, so.
Okay. Is it twice daily, every day? Okay, so that's better than it had been.
We've done twice daily for all of them.
Okay,
And when we got that trailer this year, we did twice daily.
okay.
What hours of the day is the trailer actually open?
It closes after they clean it at night, and it depends on what time they get there, but there's not closing, I don't think, before 10, because this park closes at 10.
Okay. Okay.
And their handicap restroom is open there all the time, because we left one porta john.
Okay.
Are there hours for the restroom at Pier? Like posted hours?
No, we've followed what we've done at other restrooms. When the police go around and lock them, they just lock them all.
And
But the one at the pier has a handicap porta john that stays open all the time.
Right.
So
But
if people are out on the beach after hours.
what about in the morning time though? Like for the early walkers and stuff like that? You know what time it opens?
They just open them as they're cleaning them, so I can't give you
Okay.
an amount, like, specific time.
Okay.
Just because there's a fail-safe there, so.
Yeah, I got you.
The Beach Ranger program has struggled this year. We started with 8 people, but a couple of people had injuries that were suffered off the job that kept them from working. And we have students, like we always do, that are going back to college and high school. So we'll continue the remainder of this season, which ends Labor Day weekend, with 4 Rangers who will be working very hard.
Yes.
The town of Holden Beach is the recipient of the sand from the Lockwood Folly Inlet AIWW crossing project this year. The town will be participating to piggyback on the effort, as we try to do every time, and incorporate the sand from the Ben Widener. Total cost for the Ben Widener project, which the Corps estimates should yield about 60,000 cubic yards of sand, is $535,000. We submitted our paperwork to the state for them to pay 75% of that, so the town's portion will be $133,750. And we've also asked Brunswick County to participate.
Where is that
Yeah.
planned to go anywhere
It
specifically?
always goes on the east end, specifically, they run a pipe up, so, and then the sand, migrates east to west through Littoral Drift.
Okay.
Can we back up just 1 minute?
Uh-huh.
Beach Rangers, just thinking forward, do you have any particular age groups? I know I've had a few people express an interest about doing Beach Ranger next year. Is there a particular age group that you would like for us, as we're out there talking Beach Rangers, to recruit for you to apply?
No.
You need a mix. Okay.
What's too young?
You have to have a driver's license to drive a UTV.
Okay, gotcha.
And we're looking at holding the volunteer appreciation luncheon, which is for all the boards and anybody that may not be on a board, but that like volunteers with our tie-dye program, that kind of thing, in September, with the date to be determined. And I'll begin making some plans for Halloween/fall event, date to be determined.
Speaking of luncheons, can we just mention the Parks and Rec luncheon was not as well attended? May I speak to that, Christie?
Sure.
It was not that well attended, and I think part of it could have been the fact that we didn't meet in July, and I don't think we had that date as at the forefront of what we were thinking. But moving forward, if we do one of those, and it was a lovely luncheon, and the town had gone to a lot of trouble and set things up, and the food was good, it just, the attendance was low. That perhaps when that date is set, Christie, would follow our June meeting, or we'd have that June date, the date at our June meeting, so that we could promote that, and talk it up among, other people, whether it's, when we're at the concert or wherever. I'd love to see that, better attended in the future. It was a lovely function. I'm letting you get caught up.
I'm good.
Okay,
That's all I had for the programs report.
okay. Does anyone else have anything else as far as Parks and Rec? Any questions, concerns for Christie, Keith?
Just want to get an update on Sailfish. When do we expect their report back? For their survey that they did?
They are working on the draft, which will be 2 schematics, and it goes before the public for comment. And I don't have a date on when that public meeting will be.
Do you think it'll be before we meet next or after?
Probably after.
Okay.
And Mr. Pascal has been in contact with me, and as of this morning, he said he couldn't attend the meeting, but I did let him know that pretty much Sailfish is out of our court, or off of our agenda for now. We've done what we were supposed to do through the master plan. We'll be glad to entertain any questions, but we don't really have any answers, because now it is in the commissioner's responsibility to move forward, and also the public hearing, or not hearing, but the public notice that will move forward. So pretty much, we have done what we were supposed to do with that. But again, I wanted to be respectful of him, because he did send some information to me about the numbers that were opposed and things like that. So just wanted to mention that it's kind of out of our court at this point in time.
Did we make a recommendation?
The recommendation is on the master plan, Kate.
But, the
Mhm,
master plan is a
Master plan
recommendation.
is a recommendation.
Okay.
Mhm. And everyone on this board of that, at that time approved the master
Right.
plan. So if there's any opposition on this board, then that'd be concerning to me.
Mhm.
Just because, if you were on the board, it's different. But when we had to vote on the master plan before it went to the commissioners.
Right.
One other thing, Christie, that's been brought to my attention, and I don't know if it's negotiable at all, but several of our neighbors have very young children, and they want to ask, was there a possibility that either this year or moving forward for next year, the splash pad could be turned on earlier in the day? It appears that late in the afternoon, the UVA is greater and it's more harmful to young children, that age group that would be at the splash pad. And as most of us know, children get up really early and parents are looking for, and grandparents are looking for entertainment. So I didn't know if that was a consideration down the road, Christie.
Based on water usage, if we went earlier, we would have to cut it off earlier. So now I think the hours are 10 to 6, so you would be looking at cutting it off at 4 o'clock. And I don't know that, I mean, it's something we can consider, but I could see a lot of people wanting to be able to get wet at 4 o'clock when it's hot.
Okay.
So, the two fixes there would be to either increase the budget so that there's more consumption for water usage at the park and let there be an increase in that line item, or to, if they're gonna be earlier hours, it would have to cut off.
Cut off. In other words, we've budgeted for a certain number of hours, correct? Anyone with young children or grandchildren that'd like to put their 2 cents worth in at this point in time? It was just shared with me that I think neighbors that have young children were concerned that it would be a great thing to do at 9 o'clock when it's already 90 degrees outside, to be able to take them down there, 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay.
Do we know how much the budget is for that? Or the line item for the water at the park?
All the park budget goes together, but I wanna think that just in water for the amount of weeks that we run it, it's like over $7,000.
Okay.
Did you say 7 or 70?
7.
Okay.
Seven.
Okay. It's
So
not
I don't
huge
have the
difference.
number in front of me, but off the top of my head, that's what
And that's for the
resonates.
splash pad only? Okay.
So is that something we could revisit again? Okay, thank you. Anything else on any of the program updates, any discussion, concerns? Not? Well, we have, I'm sorry.
Do we remind people that we're doing the 50/50?
Yes, thank you. We are responsible for 50/50 for Labor Day. And we got some competition if we want to surpass what some of the groups have generated this year. But we've got the advantage it's a holiday weekend, so maybe we can be able to generate enough more money for Parks and Rec. Okay, thank you, Candace, for that reminder. Okay, we have some individuals with us today, and so we're going to ask, are there any of you that would like to speak during public comment?
Yes, you want to go to? Yeah, do from here.
Here you go.
I'm Brent Shaver, I live at 121 Tarpon. We just need to try to get a little bit of a clarification on the status of the sailfish discussions, the sailfish park discussions. And I'm a dinosaur. I've tried to find where it is on the master plan for the land use. I couldn't find it. Can anybody give some guidance on, or give me some guidance on where to find it?
Is it 41?
She's got a plan.
Technically, we're not supposed to have back and forth like the Board of Commissioners, but I think it's
Okay.
page 40 and 41 to get you close.
41.
Thank you.
And it's also basically the same items that are listed in this plan was approved in the first plan in 2012.
Okay. And avoiding any back and forth, I know Ron Haskell did communicate with Ms. Tucker and asked his information about the people that chose, that voiced their opinion not to have any changes, let it stay like it was. And I think that information is going to try to be shared with the whole advisory board. If it wasn't, and somebody would like to have that information, which is interesting, we'd be glad to get you that information.
So I'll answer that question for her.
Okay.
Susanna asked for that from him as herself, not
As
not
well.
as her personal self, not speaking for the board. It wasn't a board action that was requested. So if this board is to receive it, she can't share it with them because it's not an item right now. You would need to send it to each board member if you want them to have it. Or you could send it to the town clerk and she could distribute it to them.
That answered, thank you very much. Appreciate your help.
Okay, next. Anyone else? No? I just came to see our short little meeting. We have record short meetings. Okay, I guess with, no more public comments, then I need a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, we have a motion, Melanie,
Second.
second, Mike. Any discussion? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. You're adjourned.